Hello to everyone and please welcome to Divisa. I am Adrian Vega and I am so happy to finally share with you this effect. This is more than an effect, this is more than a trick, this is more than anything, this is a tool. This is a tool that will allow you to create a lot of new magic, but also you're gonna learn a lot of effect, a lot of routines in this tutorial, because with this you can steal or add cards in any deck of cards. You can create cards, card to wallet, card to pocket with no palming, and you will be able to do a lot of stuff with this. In a moment, you're gonna find exactly what you receive and how to really make this. This is the actual Divisa, but don't worry, this is gonna take just a couple minutes to create this, and again, once it's made, you will be able to do everything that you're gonna learn in this tutorial, plus a lot of ideas that I am sure that you're gonna create with this. So don't worry, in a moment I'm gonna show you how to do this with all the props that you receive here. It's very easy to do it. I can do it by myself, so don't worry, it's very easy to do it. And this is the actual Divisa. I will take a look real close of this, that this is the thing that we are going to create. This looks like a bill. This is closed, very clean, but also you have here two cards that will allow you to create a lot of things and perform a lot of ideas. In a moment I'm going to show you how to do this, but before of that I would like to talk about some credits or some history about this prop. Maybe once you see this, maybe you remember different old tools that works like a Henry Evans works with something like this, but David Stone was one of he released. It's called the tool, so it's very easy to remember, but it's the same idea, kind of the same idea, but with a box of a deck of cards. The idea with the magnets is kind of similar, but all the approach and all the ideas that you can perform with this is very different that you can perform with the tool from David Stone or Henry Evans. Has a lot of ideas of this, so this is kind of different. But if you don't know that ideas, please check them out, because I am sure you're gonna learn a lot of things with that. David Stone, Henry Evans, a lot of great friends of mine, and I am so happy that finally I can share with you Divisa. So now let's see exactly what you receive and exactly how to make Divisa. So with Divisa, with everything that you receive here, you're gonna create this gimmick with any currency in the world. It also works with plastic currency, so if you are in Australia, I think, or in UK, you can also perform this. You can make it, I am sure you can make it, so it's very easy because you're gonna see in a moment. But if you use dollar, here I have another example with a yuan. It's a Chinese bill that when I was working there, I was using this. So also it's very easy and very cheap to make it, because this is 1 yuan, is almost nothing. But also if you are using euros, you're gonna perform and you can use anything you want. So let's see exactly how to make Divisa. So here inside to the envelope, I am sure you already know this because you are watching the tutorial. You're gonna find two things besides to the card with the tutorial. You're gonna find some magnets here inside to this bag. You're gonna use only 8 magnets, but we supply with 10 because it's very difficult to really break a magnet during this process. But just in case maybe you lost one magnet, or maybe you destroy a magnet or whatever, or you want to have an extra magnets for later or for another gimmick, here you're gonna find 10 magnets, but we're gonna use only 8. Besides of this, you're gonna find inside to this nice leather wallet this. They are 4 cards like this. They are split cards, so you don't have to really split any bag, because we want to make this gimmick as thinner as possible. So for that reason, they are not normal cards, they are split cards like this. So we supply all the cards already split, so you don't have to split any card. But if you want to split and you want to use or make a gimmick with a different bag, if you really know how to split, it's very easy to do it. But we wanted to make you this as easier as possible, so we supply red and blue. So feel free to choose the color of your gimmick. In my case, in the dollar, I use red because I use more red cards than blue, but in the Chinese, I make this with the blue. So whatever you want, just choose your color and let's make the gimmick together. Also, this wallet will allow you, if you want, it's a nice weather wallet, so you can, once you make Divisa, you can carry in the wallet and you can protect the gimmick. But if no, I highly recommend you to, once this is done, make this and put this in your real wallet. So like this, you will be always ready to go. But if you want, you can also use this for you. So once we have this, we're gonna choose, in my case, this, the two red and the magnet. Only you will need to have some double tape, some scissors like this, and now I'm gonna explain you how to really make the gimmick. Keep the bags, keep the magnet, find double tape, find a scissor, and we will be ready to go. Okay, so let's make one together, one of these Divisa, and let's see how easy it is. Just before to start, just a couple tips about your own currency, and this is the important thing once you make this and when you want to make the gimmick. So first, as you know, we have the bags, we have the magnets, we have the scissor and the double tape, and we have a few bills to make this. Now in a moment I'm gonna use the dollar like this because it's gonna be easier and cheaper also. But the important thing with this is you have to use one bill that is as close as possible. The size of the bill like this size should be as close as possible as one card like this. Okay, so in this case is the $5. That is the gimmick that I have made already, and it's a little bit bigger the bill, but don't worry, we're gonna cut and it still looks like a normal bill. So this is the important thing. So for example, $1 is the same size, more or less. So here, more or less, we have, it's a little bigger here, you can check it, but don't worry, it's still okay, because once we make the gimmick, it will look like normal. The thing is, for example, if you use a very big bill like this, for example, this is $20, and if you put the card there, here, this is too big. So once we're gonna cut this, the gimmick, the bill looks like very short like that, no? So the bill will be like this and look like a little bit tricky. So for that reason, it's very important to find one bill that will match as close as possible with this part of the card of the bill like that. Okay, so even don't worry, because during the routines, as you're gonna see in a moment, we're gonna use some normal bills on top at the bottom of the gimmick. So doesn't matter if you use $1. So I highly recommend you to use as cheap as possible, because we're gonna have to cut one bill, because during the routine you can have the gimmick in your $1 and then have 120, 15, whatever, and play with that. Okay, so this is the important thing. In euros, it's the 5 is the smaller one, so this is a good option. Also, the card is a little bit bigger with the bill, so we're gonna have to stream a little bit the card, but it's still okay. But $10, 10 euros is a nice bill to use this. No, 20 is too big. So for example, in Chinese, this is the 1 of 5. They have the same size, and this is perfect. So you don't have to really stream any size, any part of the bill. It's matched perfectly with the card. So if you are in China, congratulations, because you're gonna have this gimmick easier, and it's gonna be easier to make. But in this case, forgot about that. I'm gonna use the $1 size, $1 bill. Could be 25, I think it's more or less the same. And this is how to make the gimmick. First, we're gonna have the magnets. We're gonna use only 8. So before to do that, I'm gonna put the magnets here. I already put some double tape in one of the bags. Okay, so just use double tape. Put the double tape on top of this. Do like that, and then cut a little bit. So don't worry if you cut now a little bit better or not. At the end, we're gonna really clean all the sides. So this is what we have to do. First, we're gonna put in this double tape. We're gonna split like that. Let me do it for you. We're gonna put here the first 4 magnets. We're gonna put the magnet on the corner of the bag, like this. One there, one here, in this corner. I hope you can see here, and the last magnet here. Make sure that you put only one, not 2, not 3. They are so thin, because as I told you, we want this gimmick is so thin, it's perfect. So we want that. So for that reason, the magnets are so thin as well, okay? So this is the first part that we have to do, and then we're gonna have one of the bills. So of course we need two bills to make this gimmick. So for example, this one has some tape, just maybe for another trick, but we have to choose the size, the clean side. As you know, here we have a clean side, so there is nothing here, and in the other side we have the gimmick, the line here. So depends where you want, you have to glue the card in the side that you don't want to have clean. So for example, here is like that, but in this case I'm gonna do it at the other side just to show you the difference at the end, and you can choose whatever you want. So in this case, for example, I'm gonna put this part here, and I'm gonna glue, because this is double tape, remember, this at the bottom of the bill. I don't want to square the card here, I don't want to square the card in the other corner, I only want to square the card in this section of the bill, and I would like to maintain the card more or less in the center of the bill, because I'm gonna cut in this side, I'm gonna trim a little bit this side, I'm gonna trim this side as well, but I don't want to really square in this side. Why? Because like this, once we cut both sides, the image of the dollar will keep more or less the same. If we square the card in one of the corners, one of the sides, once we cut, we're gonna cut too much maybe in this part, and then we don't have this white part in the bill, and looks like a little bit more tricky. So for that reason, it's very important to square this part at the bottom and put it in the middle. So like this, we have some bill here and some bill here, okay? So for that reason, we don't want a super big bill here. We want as close as possible as the card, okay? More or less the same size. This is the first part, so easy. So now we're gonna take the other card, the other back, and we're gonna put some extra tape like this, okay? Now we're gonna do super fast for you, but the idea is to keep this very, very clean, as good as possible, right? So here, I'm gonna put all the tape, I'm gonna cut the tape that we don't want, boom, 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 and boom, like that, right? And now before to square this, we're gonna peel this double tape. Remember, this should be as clean as possible, so if you put tape all around the card, also will be, of course, will be better, but just because I am explaining this, I'm gonna do this as quick as possible for you. We're gonna put, this is double tape again, I'm gonna square this with the card, okay? Like this, back to back, because we are going to create this part, yeah? Like this. So we're gonna square like this. Now with the bill, we're gonna square with the card, okay? And now we're gonna take another 4 magnets, and I'm gonna leave it put on top of this. So don't worry now if you don't have the card really square. I'm gonna square later also, but this is what we have now. We have the magnet square, and now we want to make sure that now we are going to really square the card there. So you can move a little bit, you can move the magnet a little bit if you really that didn't square really good. So now, perfect, you have the cards really square. So make sure that the card with the magnets are square with the other card here behind the bill, okay? Can you see the little bit there? So this is very important to really square the card like that. And now, once this is square, let me square a little bit more for you. So here, if you have a table, this is easier because you can unstick this. If you screw up a little bit, you can unstick, very easy, square the card, and now you can see here that now I'm gonna hold the magnet like that, okay? So this is gonna have to do. So now you have the other bill, and in the same orientation, the same orientation, you have to square both bills together. Now you have to square the both bills together, and if you really square together and you press, now you will have the first prototype of Divisa. You have one bill with the magnet and the card, you have the other bill with the magnet and the card that now they're gonna square like this. So now it's so easy. The only thing that you have to do is the first bill, like this is on top, this is the last bill that we glue together. This bill, we are going to cut the size of the card. Let me take out the extra magnet. Remember that you have 2 more magnets if you want to use or keep it. So remember, we are here, we are in this position. This is the last card, the last bill that we put. So this card has to cut like this. We're gonna cut the bill. So for that reason, if this is the first time that you are going to make the gimmick, we recommend you to use the cheaper bill as possible, because you are cutting now $1 is nothing, 5 euros is a little bit more. So if you want to do this with 100, first practice a little bit with 1. We recommend you that, okay? So this is what we have. You have to string a little bit here also, so you have to do this as slow as possible to make sure that this is good for you. And now we will have the first part of the gimmick. So we have the card and we have one part of the bill. So now this is gonna be there, perfect. So now we have to cut a little bit the other bill. In the case that you are using a Chinese that is exactly the same size, don't worry, you don't have to cut anything. But here, because this is a bill that is a little bit bigger like this, yes, we're gonna cut like this, like we did with the other. So we're gonna cut a little bit here, just a little, not too much, and you're gonna follow the card like this, and now we're gonna keep following the bill, trying to make sure that this is as flat, not flat, no, as line as possible. So I am not so good with this, but I am still looking good, right? Look at this. So we have to do the same with the other, yeah? With the other side. So more or less like this, you're gonna keep cutting. Just maybe it's 1 or 2 millimeters. I am not sure about that, but it's everything that you have in the bill that you don't need on the gimmick, like that, yeah? So now that we are clean, so we don't need the rest of these things, now in just a few minutes you are creating, no? You just create this Divisa bill for you. So this is what we have. This is the same that we did. Remember, in this gimmick that I had, the clean part is this part. In this gimmick I make this clean, so we have the cut in the other side. So sometimes some bills, they don't have exactly the same design, so maybe they have a little bit bigger here, here, here. So maybe look at this here, the picture of the bill doesn't perfectly match the way I think is so good, but some of the bill maybe they don't match as good as possible. But don't worry, because we are not really showing this, because we have this line. So this, during the routine, this is gonna show in a very natural position, and we think about all of this stuff. So this is perfect. So you have the card, you have the bill, and you will be ready now to learn all the routines that I'm gonna share with you with Divisa. So again, make sure if you don't like to do this and you want to split, so you can use different bags, you can create more gimmicks if you want. So whatever you have in your hands, we will be ready to learn all these routines. So now let's check one by one all the ideas that we can use with Divisa. So let's discover everything that you can do with Divisa. So for example, the first part of this tutorial, I'm gonna talk about how to add or steal cards from the deck. So imagine that you have a shuffle deck of cards, even a borrow, but you will have some duplicates. I'm gonna show you in a moment, but imagine that spectator, they're gonna shuffle, they do whatever you want, and maybe you have some bills and you say, I'm gonna bet to find the most important card in the deck, that they are the 4 aces. I'm gonna bet just $10 today. So shuffle, 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 perfect. And I'm gonna try to find the 4 aces in less than 1 second, and I bet $10. So did you shuffle? Only have to wait a little bit and look at this very close. $10, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the 4 aces for me, and of course, the most important thing, the bills also for me. So in this moment, I already add these cards, and the deck, of course, is totally clean, because this is how I did. This is just an idea, but I hope that this can open you a lot of utilities, a lot of ideas using Divisa. So in my case, always that I am using Divisa, I like, even here that I add 4 cards, so it's a big setup to add, I like to use an extra $1 or $2 more because they're gonna help me to really show this in a very clean way. So I'm gonna cover more angles with a couple extra bills like this because this is what I have here. So in this case, because I'm gonna do this production like that, so I have the 4 aces face up, 1 ace face down, and only doing this, I'm gonna make appear the 4 aces. But this is, as I told you, this is just an idea how to add cards, okay? So as you saw in the trailer. So this is the setup that I want to add to the deck. So in this case, I'm gonna open my Divisa, I'm gonna put this down, I'm gonna put all the setup, in this case 4 cards, but you have, I think 4 is as big as possible because if you put more, maybe the magnet is not as strong, but you can try with 5, 6, whatever you need for your routine. But I have this and I have this on top. So if I square here, I have here 5 cards, okay, so this is too big. So if you want to add only 1 card, for example, this is very thin, so even only showing the bill looks like nice. You can cover here with your index like this, so you can really show a way cleaner. But if you want to add, in this case, 4 cards, as I told you, it's better to square and maybe use another bill like this. So you can play with these kind of things and everything will look like nicer. So for example, you can take your own wallet. I'm gonna show you this in a moment. You can take your own wallet, pretend to take the bills from there. So in this case, it's too many cards, so you have to take care of this. Or if not, if you have a pocket, you can take from your pocket. Don't really show the bills like I am showing 2 normal bills, just in a natural movement, no? Like I am taking some bills and I'm gonna bet with you something. So just make sure to cover the angles, but don't pay too much attention in showing the bills. So you don't have to really show. Just in a very natural way, you can take it and like that. So don't pay too much attention on this. So they're gonna shuffle, they're gonna do whatever you want. And at the end, because here I have the Divisa down, you have a few ways to really add. So only doing this like a 1 second, I already load all the cards from the deck. So we have here a couple ideas. So first, I'm gonna do only with 1 bill because like this, you're gonna see very easy how I add the cards. But if you have another bill, they're gonna cover a little bit and you have the same idea. So this is how to do. So you have all the cards there. So instead to really square there, that I'm gonna show you this technique in 1 moment, but in this case I like to square, no, here I like to square like an in job, like this. So you have the other bill is perfect. So now only with your thumb do like a push off like that. So you're gonna really put all the cards in the deck and at the same time I move the bill like that and with my other hand I show like that, okay? So in real time will be like that, no? You put the bill there, and now I already load the card here. Of course, to do this, you need a motivation, you need a script, or you need something, no? You need an intention to justify, to take out the bills, to bet with the audience, to do whatever you want, and of course, a motivation to put the bills there, right? No? So for example, I say, did you shuffle the deck, and this is the money that maybe you want to take, but not yet, because I'm gonna find the aces like this in 1 second. No? So it's depend of the script, how you move. So you have to really study the idea. No? As I told you, this is a tool that you can use in any situation. So please study yourself, study your routine, and make sure that all the movement that you are going to do with this, they are as natural as possible. Okay. So this is one of the ideas. So put it like that. Push off. We can do here. Push off, and then move like this, and doing this looks like very natural bill, okay? But again, so you can take the 2 bill and say, I'm gonna bet this is 5 and 10 and 5, they are 10. So you have a motivation to take out the bills and counting on the table, and now you are ready to boom, make the aces appear, okay? So this is very important. Why you have the bills, and you justify why you take again the bills, put it here, and then show, okay? So one of the idea could be that, like I'm gonna bet no 5, I'm gonna bet 5 and 5, they are 10, perfect, in less than boom, and you are do the thing. And Once, for example, here that I make the production, I can show all the aces very clean, and now I say the ace is for you and the bill, I'm sorry, but all the bills, now I square, are for me. And now I already steal the gimmick and I left the card and the deck clean for your routine, for whatever you want. So once the gimmick make whatever you want to do with this, you can clean like that and you are free and the deck is clean as well, okay? So this is to add cards, so you can add whatever you want, maybe an extra card, a duplicate, whatever you want to put in the bill, they're gonna be ready there, and if you want to do this, boom, it's already loaded in the deck, okay? And once you put it back with the bill, you're gonna steal the card very easy as well, okay? This is one way to do it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, you can do the other thing, the other idea. So you have the cards here that you want to add, and instead to do in a in-job like that, for me this is more safer, so this is the way that I use. But if you want, you can do the same, but pushing with your index like this, with your middle finger. So you have these things here, and if you are in this position, like showing the bill here, pressing with your index like this, you can square the cards from the deck. So you're gonna help with this finger and with this finger, the middle finger of your right hand and the index finger of your left hand. You can square and you can show the bill like this. So if you really practice this movement, this looks like the bills never touch the deck like that, no? So this is a slow motion, boom, you're gonna square like that, and boom. So if you are in a natural movement, like doing this, you can square a little bit, but never square. So always you are watching this part of the deck, but I already load the cards there. And the same, you do the trick, and at the same, you're gonna clean the cards like that, okay? So practice the way that you want to add a steel card wherever you want. So from here, from the in-job part, or from the bottom, from this part, like that. And you're gonna also load the things. So it's the same that you want to steal cards from the deck. So imagine that you want to steal some cards, and for example, you can do a card to wallet, a card to pocket with no palming, because you are going to use this Divisa gimmick to steal cards from the deck. So let's see now in one moment. So let's see now how to steal cards from the deck, and this is just an example that how to use the idea of stealing card from the deck with Divisa. So this is an idea to do a card to wallet with the wallet in full view from the beginning and with no palming at all. But this is just an example, and later I'm gonna talk about how to steal and how many possibilities you have with this. So imagine that you have a shuffle deck of cards, a board with deck of cards. They're gonna shuffle, they're gonna do whatever you want, and they're gonna take any card from the deck. So doesn't matter the card, 3 of spades, and they are going to sign. So meantime he's signing, I say, I'm gonna bet with you that I can find your card in a few seconds. I am a professional of this, and I am so sure that I can bet with you all my money that I have for you. Look at this, USA wallet. So I'm gonna bet, I don't have too much, I have just $10. There's not too much, but maybe it's okay for you. So I'm gonna bet $10 that I can find any card in the world in less than, for example, 10 seconds, because I bet $10, okay? So did you sign the card? Perfect. So put the card back in the deck, 3 of spades, more or less in the middle. I can shuffle, I can cut, but in this condition, I'm gonna try to really find the card in less than 10 seconds. You really check the deck, you really check the bills, not yet, because the bills, they are mine, but first I'm going to find the card in less than 10 seconds. So are you ready? Do you want to shuffle? It's okay, perfect. So shuffle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, I can't find, sorry, I cannot find the card, blah, 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 blah. If you don't find the card, can you look at the card? Oh, sorry. So if I don't find, the money is for me, the money is for you, sorry, but nothing in my hands, nothing, but maybe behind here, inside to my wallet, you can see that beside to the bills, they are something. They are one card, and of course, this card is 3 of spades with your signature, yeah? So this is a very short example that I'm gonna show you how I steal the cards and how I do. So the nice thing about this is like you can steal cards with the bill. So if you don't have a wallet, you can put your bills back in your pocket, in your jacket, wherever you want, and you will have always the card stealing with this, with the Divisa. So in my case, imagine I have here just 2 bills, but you can have your bills in your carry-on magic deck of cards or whatever in your wallet. I put the Divisa like that. This is normal Divisa, nothing inside here, and this is in my wallet, in my normal wallet, and I am always ready to perform Divisa. So this is a nice part of the idea. So this is just a normal bill with the things, and once you take out your bills, you are ready to go. So this is how I do. I start with the wallet like that, and I shuffle and I offer to the spectator to check the deck, shuffle, and take the card that they want. Meantime, he is shuffling, is the moment when I am going to add the gimmick to the deck. So it's the moment when I am take the wallet, so the wallet is in full view from the beginning, doesn't matter. Now I take all the bills in a very natural gesture, so this is not a technique, and I'm gonna show the bills like this. Like I have only $10 today, but I hope it's more than enough. So in that moment, what I did is the same. I put this in this position, I push off to leave in the deck only one card with the magnet, I show, and now I am in this position, ready to steal the card. I put the bills on the table, very close to the wallet, and now, because the reason is like I want to see how many how much money I have. Maybe it's 10, it's not too much, but I hope this is okay. But before to give you, boom, and now I go back. So let me explain you. This is the situation. I say put the cards in the middle. So the only thing that I do is I do a Charlier cut. So the gimmick is there, here, okay? So make sure you cover, if you have an angle here, it's very difficult to see, but in my case I prefer to cover a little bit more. I cut, I put the card, and when I am here, I do like this, so I keep a break above the selected card like that. So now I cut and complete, I can shuffle, I can do whatever you want. It's very important to keep the same orientation with the magnet, because like this I'm gonna steal very easy, but for example, imagine that you are shuffle, or as I did, you shuffle like this, and then the magnets are in the wrong direction, you're gonna stick the bill in the wrong direction. So it's very important, it's a small detail, but very important detail, that if you unload the card in this position, you have to put the deck in this position, and you have to keep the same orientation always, okay, before to steal the signed card, okay? So once I do the double cut, now the selected card is on top, the signed card, and below is the gimmick, like this. So now it's very easy. If I put this very close to the deck a little bit, the magnets, they're gonna square everything, and they're gonna steal below the signed card like that, okay? So this is very easy, you don't have to pal anything, only putting the bill there, you're gonna stack the gimmick and the signed card, okay? So again, if you have another bill, you wanna cover a little bit this process, this steal, because I say, okay, the deck is there, and also did you shuffle the deck, did you check the money is for you, and I offer like a joke, like this is gonna be for you, I show this very clean, at the same time I already steal, and say, but not yet, because first I will show you this, and I am so sure that I'm gonna keep my money for me, because I'm gonna find your card in less than 10 seconds. So that is the motivation to show the bills and to take it out, show that to check how much money I have. Okay, I have 10, so I'm gonna bet with you that this is your sign, the card is lost in the deck, and I'm gonna bet with you my $10. This is not for you yet, because I am so sure that I'm gonna find your card in less than 10 seconds. But just in case, if I screw up or if I lose or whatever, the money gonna be for you. So the method is already done because you have the bills there. So remember, this is not a technique. This is just a casual movement, a casual gesture, like oh, how many bills? Oh, $10. Okay, so I'm gonna bet this. but don't worry, it's not for you yet, not for you yet, because first I'm gonna show you something, and in this like a joking or presentation style is the moment when you are going to steal the car, and this is part of the method. No? This is very important. This is part of the method, but has to be part of the presentation. So hope this makes sense for you. So once the method is done, now is the moment that you are going to play with this. You want to play with them. Like I'm going to try to find in less than 10 seconds. So for example, 9, 10, 8. I have 8 seconds. So whatever you want, you can choose your presentation, funny or not, depending on your style. But at the end, you can show that, of course, the signed card is not in the deck. You can show your hands empty, and now in the wallet, very clean, you can open and you're gonna see this. So this is very important. You have to really take out the card from the gimmick like this. It's very easy, but you don't have to show this to the audience because obviously you're gonna show the method. So in my case, because the gimmick is below, when I put the cards here, it's below, I know that I have to, with my index, I have to open a little bit all the bills. With my thumb, my index is there, and now this card gonna be the selected card. Okay, so in a very casual movement, like nothing in my hands, and with all my cards, with all my bills, I have something here inside to my wallet, and I like to show this. Right, it's coming obviously between the gimmick, but looks like it's coming from the deck, from the wallet. Sorry. So I show the card and say, obviously this card is exactly 3 of spades. So you say the money is for you, the card is for you, the money is for me. Sorry, the card is for you. But the most important thing of this is like this is again ready to go, because you have the gimmick closed there. So this is instant reset, and you will be always ready to go. So this is very, very practical, very commercial, I think, and very easy to do, because you can do this table to table, like a hopping table, no? This kind of things, strolling magic, because once you have this, you do the trick, boom, 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 still the card like that, you put it back in the wallet, play your favorite routine. Funny, I can not find the card, sorry, but maybe here I have beside to the bills, I have something, one card, 3 of spades, this is for you, I close, and I can go to another table, and this will be always ready to go. So I think this is a very useful idea how to use stealing cards from the deck using Divisa. Of course, if you don't have a wallet and this is in your pocket, you do the same. You say, I'm gonna bet with you some money. I have $10. Maybe it's not too much. No, you do the same thing. Maybe it's not too much, but let's see what happened. So 3 of spades in the middle, lost, blah 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 blah. I say, maybe did you check the deck? Did you check the bills? But not too much, because the bills are for me. So I have to. And I already do the same. I put this back in my pocket or in my trouser pocket, whatever you want. I do the same, and at the end, with nothing, I can find in my pocket the gimmick, I can open it, and I can show the signed card again. So in my case, I think the wallet idea is so powerful, and this is the idea that I perform most. But if you don't have a wallet, you can do in your pocket whatever you want. So this is Divisa and how to use stealing cards. So hope this again open new ideas with you, and I am sure that you're gonna love it. Let's see another approach using Divisa. This inspired me by the mystery card, the mystery box from John Kennedy. I was playing with this plot for many years, using shutting glass, using a lot of things. If you know some of my work, I am sure you already know how much I love that plot. So using Divisa, you can also create the same idea, like a mystery card from the beginning, and at the end, one signed card is the mystery card from the beginning, right? So in this case, it's the same, just using Divisa inside to your wallet, so no pocket space, and you will be always ready to go. And of course, using any shuffle deck of cards or any borrow deck of cards. So imagine that a spectator shuffle, or you borrow a deck of cards and a Sharpie, whatever, and I say, I'm gonna bet with you something. This time I don't have less than before. I have only $5, but hope it's okay. So I'm gonna find one card here. Maybe it doesn't matter the card, so maybe I'm gonna take this. This is gonna be the mystery card for today. I'm gonna put this, so I don't want to touch the card until the end, because first I will ask you to take any card from the deck. So spectator, sign any card. So remember, in this case, 6 of hearts, yeah? And I'm gonna do this with a palming. Now I'm gonna show you different ways to do it, but the idea is one card, 6 of hearts, more or less in the middle of the deck, more or less there, and the mystery card from the beginning. I know this is impossible, but maybe the mystery card is 5, 6 of hearts, yeah? So this is how I do. In this case, I use a palming, as I told you, but I'm gonna show you another ways if you don't want to use a palming, but this is a very clean way to do it. Now, I am sure you already saw this on the trailer, so let me show you this, what happened. So you have the mystery there, I already pulled this like that, and now doing this, boom, 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 I already changed the card. So this is how I do. So I like to start with a normal shuffle deck of cards and the Divisa like this. So meantime he is signing the card, I do the same that we did with the wallet. I square there and I leave it here, this part of the gimmick, right? Remember, I square a little bit, just 1 second, I can hold the gimmick like that, I can show, and when I am here, I load the card there and I put the bill on the table. Why? Because I like to really start with a shuffle deck of cards. So imagine they didn't take anything, they shuffle, and I say I'm gonna use $5 with this, I'm gonna bet this, so this is here, and now I pretend that I take any card from the middle, but the thing that I do is I, of course, take out the gimmick part from the deck. So even you don't have to mark the card, it's very easy to really feel here because you have 4 magnets, you have a lot of things there, so it's very easy to really find the card, put it on the table, and now this is what you have to do. You have to really put this in a good way to do, again, later, to do the change that I'm gonna show you now, but you don't want to really do this, or you really don't want to show the magnet. So the idea is put it there, but don't really square, so make sure that you put your index, so here you don't really throw the bill, you are doing like that. So like this is very close to the magnet, like that, but it's not still glued to the magnet. So I like this idea, but you can, if you want, you can really leave it there and it's okay, and gonna be easier for later to make this disappear. But in my case, I like to leave it there, not close, like this. I think it's a little bit more deceptive, and then when I do the change, I'm gonna square. So the idea, the basic idea of this, I'm gonna show you different ways, but let me use the signed card for you. So in my case, in this example, I don't know where it's here, right? I pal here with my left hand, so I do this pal, but you can do whatever you want. You can pal from the bottom, you can do whatever, because the idea is the card is palming there, the bill is here, so I take the bill, and now when I am going to take the card is the moment when I feel that this part is already glued with the magnet, like this, okay? So I pretend to take this, I pretend to take this, and now the change happened in 1 second, like this. So this is what happened. This is palming, the bill, the card, now it's glued, remember, it's there. I hold with my fingers there, and now I'm gonna square like this. At the same time, I'm gonna throw the card, not throw, it's more or less, they're gonna like a spread like this to my right hand. So this is what happened again. This is palming, the bill, the card, glue, and now when I go there, this is what happened. I square, and with these fingers, I'm gonna steal the card, and with my left hand, I'm gonna take the bill and show from both sides, like this. So at the same time, I close this, and I leave it the signed card in my right hand. So this, in a normal timing, should be like this, boom. Here is already glue, and now boom, 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 and it's very, very visual to do. Of course, if you are performing, you have more gestures. So as you know, the big movement cover the small movement. So now it's very clean to leave the card there and show the signed card. So I think this is it's not very easy because you have to pal, but it's very visual. I think it's very deceptive, and trust me, it's very very fun to perform and to practice, because when you feel this, if you really love to practice, when you really feel this moment with the palming card, and you, it's like a pleasure to practice that, right? So this is one of the ideas. So you palming, you take the card, take the bill, take the bill, take the card, already glue with the magnet, spoon, show, and show, and it's very, very clean. If you don't want to palm, you can do the same idea, but with different ways to add the card. In my case, I really like to palm, and I prefer to keep learning palming with one hand, palming from the middle, whatever I need for the routine, because I think this is the cleaner way to do this. But remember, if, for example, another idea, so for example, if you want to do the same but with no palming, you can do the same, but in the same to this side, I put my bill in my left side, I put the bill there, yeah? In this case, it's better if you already glue the magnet, so it's better if you do this and you hold the card, avoid this kind of movement like this, so put the card, put the bill, make sure that it's there, and now, for example, if you have the card in the button, so if you controlling the button wherever you want, you are going to do like this, and you are going to add the card. So this is what happened. So here, this is ready, you have the card there in the button, and in middle position, you're gonna do this a little bit. If you press with your fingers, this is gonna jump a little bit like that. This will allow you to, let me show you here, to go in the direction of the card like that, and at the same time, you are going to take with your left hand everything. So this is gonna happen, they're gonna square the magnet, and at the same time, they're gonna leave the card under the bill. So here you have this very clean, and you have the signed card again in your hands. So in real time should be this gonna be ready, should be there, and should be this for you, boom, and now boom, the card is there, right? Again, I really prefer the palming version, but maybe you have more angles or you don't want to practice the palming, you also can do this. Boom, square everything, the gimmick will square by itself, and you're gonna have the card there. So if you really do a big pause here, put in the deck apart and stay here a little bit, like a pause to show and do this as clean as possible, maybe you can use it as well, okay? And one extra last idea using this mystery idea with the bill, if you don't want to practice the palming, or maybe you don't want to do that, another idea that I didn't perform, but I think maybe can find a place in maybe it's your case, is do the same. You have the mystery card, you have the bill, and now you have the card on top. So imagine, for example, that you put you pretend, for example, let me show you, you pretend to put a joker or wherever, no? So you put a joker there, now you take another joker, for example, imagine that this is a joker, and now you take this as a double, because behind is the signed card, and now when you are going to take everything there, they're gonna square like that, they're gonna square the gimmick, and at the same time, boom, you're gonna have the card and the signed card already add. No? This is kind of the between your hands. If you know the trick from Alex Ensley, it's called between your hands, that you have a duplicate. So it's kind of the same, like you have a duplicate there, you have another card, and at the end you are going to add. So for example, in the original trick was 3 different cards, only one is signed by a spectator, so you are going to find the 3 cards, and the last card gonna be the signed card. So imagine that, for example, this is the King of Spades, so this is a double, so you say King of Spades, I have the first one, the second one is the King of Diamonds, perfect, like that, the third one is another one, and the last one, you do the double, so you show the king and this below. So when you are going to square this, boom, you can show the bill and you can show the king, and the mystery card was from the beginning 6 of hearts. Okay, so this is more than that's an idea, that's to use the double leaf to add cards here, yes, squaring and whatever you want, more than a routine, but maybe you can find with this small idea something to create. So honestly, in my case, I always use the palming from the bottom, from the middle, whatever, and I do this chain that's for me, I think is the more visual and the more deceptive way to change the card. If not, you have the idea using this, and maybe just as an extra idea using the double leaf to add the card like this. Maybe that could open you some ideas and creativity, and if not, I think that maybe with the palming idea, with the wallet, you have more than enough to start playing with Divisa. So everything I share with you in Divisa coming from the first idea. This was the first idea that I was playing when I was playing with bills, with cards, and this is what I come out, and then I discovered that I didn't want to do this, and I wanted to do what I already teach with you. The card to wallet, the mystery card, even using to add cards. But the first idea was using this bill like this, I show a bill, I do this, and then one card is selected, it's signed like that, is lost in the middle of the deck, and in 1 second I'm gonna change this bill, $5, in your Pun card like that. And then I can give the signed card to the spectator. Yeah, so this was the first idea that I played with Divisa, and the idea was to try to use this as a flap, like a changing a bill to a card, but I like it, the idea to change to a signed card and give the signed card to the spectator. And of course you can do this with Divisa, but then I put all my effort and all my rehearsal and my study using Divisa in the other ways that I already teach you. But just in case you like the idea, this is what I do. In my case, the orientation of the magnet, they are made because, as I told you, I really want to do the other tricks and not these visual things, but this is what happened. So starting the same way, I can show the bill with both sides because you have only the special card. I steal the card in the deck, yeah, and I put the bill on the table. I do the same that we did with the card to wallet. I put the card on top, no, in the middle. I pretend that in the middle I cut and complete, controlling the card on at the top, sorry. And now I do a break like that, okay? So because I don't want to put the bill and steal everything as we did in the other part, I want to only steal the signed card. So I take the bill, I square there, and now I square and I steal only the signed card behind the bill, but the gimmick bill is still in the deck. Okay, so only doing this, like a showing the bill, and doing this movement like a boom, boom, like a if I am blowing here, you can see better, like a 3, 2, 1. I show the card and I can give it to there, and this is what happened. The only thing that I do is I am here with the signed card. I fold the bill a little bit like this, and I do like a push off like that, and I can show the card here in this part. So I don't want to finish in this position, I want to finish there. So for that reason, I say 1, 2, 3, and I finish in that position, and I can give it to the spectator, covering here all the gimmick, all the side. Because at the beginning, I put the orientation of the magnets like this. So I wanted to really close this part of the card like that. So if the magnet stick there, I can maybe cut, put this in the middle and spread a little bit, and the gimmick will stick together. And if you really want, you can play with that. You can play with the orientation of the gimmicks. So if you put one orientation in the corner like that, you can stick a little bit here and then stick a little bit here like this. In my case, because I don't use this anymore, I just wanted to share with you this extra idea. I don't pay attention on the orientation. And also, if you don't pay attention, you can also finish like that, so the card will be there, and then in a moment you can steal this, or when you are going to take out everything, you throw everything there, and it's still okay and works in the same way. But this is the beginning of everything. This was the beginning of Divisa, just trying to change a bill in a signed card, in this kind of flap of ideas, but finishing with a signed card for the spectator. So even this looks like a flap change, the end of the trick of the effect was a normal signed card. So maybe it could be a little interesting for some of you, or maybe not, but because this was the beginning of Divisa, I wanted to also share with you here in this tutorial. So thank you to everybody for supporting Divisa. I am so happy that I share with you this tutorial, these ideas using different bills, different currency. You can play with that, and I am so happy because some of other tricks that we publish and we share with the Magic community, they are tricks by itself, but maybe you can touch a little bit, you can change a little bit, but most of them, they are already routines that they are already made that you can maybe don't touch a little bit, or maybe you don't use so much. This is more than that. This is more than a routine. This is different of everything that we published before, because this is a tool that I will be very, very happy if you can find different approach, you can find different ways to use it, because I am sure you're gonna find that. So this is Divisa, this is what I do so far with this, the card to wallet. This is how I add cards to make some ASICs production or whatever you want. So I really hope that you can use this with my ideas, with my routines, but I really hope that you can create your rounds very easy with this tool. Also remember, this could be always in your wallet, in your pocket, in your normal wallet, in your everyday carry Magic, and this will be always ready to go. With any deck, any shuffle deck, you can add, you can steal, you can perform everything that I share with you today, but also the new ideas that you will have with this. So thank you again for everything, thank you again for your support, thank you for your creativity, and I'm really looking forward to hear your ideas using Divisa. Thank you so much. My name is Adrian Vega, and see you next time.